So, hello, and welcome to the last episode of Dev Diary series. Well, the reason I'm saying that it's the last one is that I think now the project has reached a state where I'm confident to say that it's not necessary to keep up the Dev Diary series, because this series was more about like sharing the process of the development throughout these like 7 or 8 months of its development. And if you look back from the beginning, see that everything has been changed. It's the idea and the vision for the project, and now it's kind of reached the goal I had in mind. And it was about like achieving a groundwork platform for a practice-led research, and it's now in that state. And what I'm going to show you today is that the remaining pieces of this puzzle, which will tell a lot about where the project is heading, right? So again, as usual, I know you guys are gonna hate me, but I'm gonna play music here. Okay, so the home is now super bright. It's lit. It's kind of like it's like 6 a.m., right? And surprisingly, I'm not a night owl here. So what has been changed radically is the BodyLab and many things about the post-human body, and the presentation room at the left, or the lounge, which I'm going to show you after this. So let's go and see what's changed here. Well, at the end, you can actually see my head, my big head. Everything is magnified here. Don't panic. This is actually the indicator table, which shows me my body, some information about who I am and what my body is. The thing is, these body kits, which are attached to my hand as well, these indicate what they actually do. Like this blue one, which is a newly developed one. This is a presentation remote. I'll discuss how this works in the presentation room. Operating system, again, as usual, a nicely developed OS of false mirror. And in the right hand, we have the scanner. Again, it shows the edges of objects, right? Another aspect of the virtual materials, right? And the shrinker, it's a good old shrinker where I can make myself, tiny. So yeah, that's about it. But the reason I have added my head to false mirror was this. You're gonna see why. I made a camera app in the BPOS and in the operating system, which I can spawn cameras in front of me wherever I go. These handheld cameras, these are like CCTV kind of selfie cams. So absorbingly, it's a surveillance cam. And the cool thing about this is it's not yet activated. This screen shows me the window of what you see through. And if I activate the camera, boom, yo, so you can see me from a third-person perspective. You're not bound to my head anymore, right? And I can move this anywhere I want. So you might wonder what the heck is this sort of this this sort of prosthetic mouth, right? I mean, is that working now? It's just a thing now. But if I activate it, look, this is a new board in the post-human configuration tables. This is a mouth board, which I can like choose and customize my mouth. And if I activate this, oops, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can see my prosthetic mouth reacts to what I say. It's pretty neat. I mean, it sort of reduces the uncanniness of my 3D avatar, and it's also cool in the sense that you see when I'm talking. And actually, let me deactivate this, because you don't need to see me right anymore. You don't need to see the real me anymore. It's obvious to see the virtual avatar. Oh, and let me actually configure the mouth sensitivity. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, it's for the calibration. Don't panic. But I think it's good, right? So let's go to the presentation. Oh, and one thing about the camera app, which I haven't discussed yet, is the fact that I can with this shutter icon, if I press this, I can take a selfie. So after 7 seconds, and it actually saves the screenshot, the shot, to my hard drive, and I can have access to it very easily. So the presentation room here is I mean, it looks pretty simple, right? But there's only one big board here, which is a presentation board. And here at the end of the room, it's kind of a symmetric room to the BodyLab. So we have this table again where I would spawn some objects that I want to explain, and I want to teach and discuss about. Which, for example, I brought some of the old stuff I've made throughout the design of False Mirror. Like, this is the very early. This is the if you remember in the beginning, in the very first video I've shared about False Mirror, it's the aqua lighter. You can see, so it's aqua lighter. It explains itself. And this is the gun dict, where if you shoot at the objects around you, it will tell you the definition of those objects, if they're defined. And these energy bottles, which I showed in a past episode. So what is this board, which is a really exciting board? So this big board, it has 3 buttons. I'll show you each of them. First of all, I'm going to show you this. This is the internet. If I activate this, now it says connect to the internet. Actually, let me activate the third-person camera so you can see me in third-person view. Yo. All right, and I would also need to make the zoom in the camera a little bit. Sorry. And so in the camera app, I can actually customize modify the field of view of the camera. Fine. I think it's good. Yeah, it's good. Cool. And okay, so let me show you the internet. What is the connect to internet thing? If I press this, it will bring a link in the YouTube. It's actually one of the early videos. Like I think I've made it in 2015, I guess, yeah. And I mean, this is pretty neat in a sense that I can show everything from the internet, right, in VR for any presentation purposes. And you know, internet is a good gateway between here and the reality. So I might end up developing a website actually where I can like a dedicated website for false mirror where people can interact or participate while I'm in the presentation or any other aspects of false mirror. So I mean, it's pretty neat, which I can like have all the controls we need for you know, showing and controlling videos. I mean, my internet here sucks, so it loads up in the worst possible quality, but you get the idea, right? So this is the internet. Pretty exciting. The other thing is this dim light button. If I press this, it will dim the lights, and it's now pretty cool for a presentation, right? Let me like, and I think this illuminating mouth of me also helps you to see that okay, this guy is talking. He's not this weird avatar. So yeah, that's about it. Let me pause this and let me show you the presentation or the PowerPoint kind of thing. If I press this on, now you can see my slides through this sort of projector. It's nice because it's actual light, right? It projects on me as well. And let me dim the lights again. Okay. I also have made this laser pointer where if it's attached to my left hand, where I can like point to any object in any point inside the slides. I think I have to make it red so it's more visible, but it's cool for now. And so yeah, I'm gonna give you a very short test presentation, and I hope you enjoy it. So it's about the approach in the design of false mirror in this project. So false mirror is about speculating possible futures through virtual reality. So let me go to the next slide. So what is speculative design, and why is it important, especially nowadays? Well, this is this is a very important A/B list about speculative design. It's called A/B Manifesto. It's written by Don and Raby, Anthony Don and Fiona Raby. It shows, the A column is about the traditional design practices. Mainly the design as we most of all know it, the stereotypical design, which is about like problem solving. Design as process provides answers, solutions, optimizations, and the goal for production to come up with a product. But the speculative design, in contrast, is a different approach, right? It's quite the opposite, in some ways, right? it's critical. It's a it's a it's a practice to provide a new question or ask questions rather than trying to find solutions. Yeah, this list is self-explanatory. I don't need to dig on, but where the practice for this project is focusing on is on the B side of this design sphere. Um, so, what is speculative futurism in the sense that what's the sense? What does it mean when we talk about the future? The thing is, come here. This is the sort of the cone of, what was it called again? Cone of possible futures. It was first coined by Stuart Candy, and it's these cones are actually the possible emerging futures, and you know, these cross sections of the cones are basically some time frames or milestones in time, where we can say, like, it's obvious in this frame, like if this is 2050, these are the possible emerging futures, and let's imagine those. So this is the very notion of it, that by imagining each of these possible futures, you basically have projected it through the time, through these bigger cone of possible futures. And this means that by imagining the future in 2050, you can imagine its projection on 2010, for example. Or I'm sorry, 2020, because it was a past. Actually, I don't like the way it illustrated the past, but it's fine for now, for the sake of the presentation. And yeah, so this is the approach I'm going to have with Faulkner as well, to sort of create some scenarios on top of this visual city and this platform, and describe them, you know, and try to intuitively describe every aspects of these possible features. So yeah, I think this has been a lot of fun. I mean, in the past 7-8 months. Oh, sorry, I actually been thrown out. Oops, sorry. So I'm back. Well, so yeah, that was a test presentation. Bear with me if it was meaningless. But as you can see, I mean, now knowing all the possibilities of the project, I'm pretty confident to move it to the next level in terms of presentation, to make more and better presentations, and create the back-end developments in this visual city to accurately and better imagine those possible features, which I just discussed about. So yeah, this is the end of the Dev Diary series. Thanks for joining, and I hope it had something for you, and if not, bear with me. I'm sorry. So yeah, that's it. Thank you, and have a good day.